Right, guys. So, morning. Today is episode 13 where we will start modeling the year. Before I go into the year, maybe I'll just check again the attendance and run through a few admin stuff. So, remember the control alternate delete? Okay, I just want to remind you guys that just go ahead and take part. Don't worry so much about whether the thing is going to be very difficult to do and stuff. In fact, just watch the video, learn something new about storytelling. Yesterday, the response regarding the questions, only one person had replied. So I'm not very sure if you guys were actually watching all the YouTube and stuff. I would say take it like it's something new, a new skill that is crucial if you want to be in this industry as a artist, whether modeler, animator, or anything else. It's still good to have a skill of storytelling, because when you go into an animation or game company, at least if you know how is it like to be a storyteller, you can relate to them and do the work even better. So go ahead, watch all the video, learn something new. In terms of taking part, it's not that difficult. You just take one of your 3D model and just submit it and try to link it to the content. That's good enough really. Okay, and with that you can kind of like score your CCA point. So don't forget to register. If you don't register, I won't know your name and I won't be able to give you the point. Not simple as that. Quite a few of you are not here yet. Hanif, Fatullah again, Brandon again, Yani, Nadia, Rehana, Christina, Ryan. Who is this? Chan. The only Chan I know is Zhongwei, but this is Shi, so I don't know who is this. Sherilyn, Andrea, Aaron, Chan, Shi Chan. Okay, the rest of you, good. Glad that most of y'all have been constantly being on time. Good work. Okay, so home-based learning, we're left with about 1.5 weeks only. Just enjoy it, and after that you can kind of take a break for holiday. Okay, so let's begin our lesson. Right, so you can already see here that I started to do some blocking. Don't worry, I will redo everything here and share with you guys how to do it. I'm just trying to testing out again because I seldom model the year. So back to this Photoshop. There's a few things that we want to understand first before we start modeling the year. The year is quite a complicated thing to do. First thing is because of the way the contours, the loops and stuff like that. So I just want you guys to know this. Why with a question mark. If you look at the year, you can kind of see like there's a question mark, okay, on the outer ring, and there's a Y. So the year is like basically a question, why? So have that in mind, and whether you're doing drawings for the characters and stuff, at least you roughly know how you can approach the drawing. So for 3D wise, what we need to know this is because later on we're going to do something called drawing up the topology, which is right the first lesson or second lesson I mentioned to you guys. You want to draw up the topology of the face. So here is kind of the same thing. This to help you don't feel so intimidated in 3D when you are modeling the ears, because it's so complicated. If you just go straight into modeling in 3D without this, you won't know roughly what to do, because there's so many shapes going on, so many turns and stuff. So what I need you all to kind of know here is that how is the Y and the question mark, where is it and how can you do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. I'm just going to create a new layer, switch my color to blue. So I'm going to start off with the inner one. Okay, so you can straight away see where the Y is really, right? So what we need to do here is just imagine that you're modeling, but in a very low poly model. So I'm drawing out the edge loop following the contour of my ears. Okay. Anything that is concave, anything that is inside, I don't draw. Anything that is popping up, anything that is like the heel of it, the mountain part, the high part, I will draw it out. So I follow the contour of those. Okay, I'm not thinking whether the topology should be correct or wrong. I just keep it as simple as possible. So I'll try to kind of link it around here. Anytime you see there's a high point, there's a low point, it's kind of like an edge. I just connect them. Okay, something like that, good enough already. So we kind of have a Y that is being extended all the way here, right? And next thing I want to do is actually the outer rim of the ear, which is the question mark. So I'll start off with this section here. Don't worry if your lines don't match up, it's not that crucial. What we want is really just to figure out the flow. Okay, your lines have to be perfect, it's just a guide. We're not going to bring all this into Maya as well. We're just going to put it in Photoshop and then refer to it as we are modeling, because we already have an image plane, so it's really a good guide, you know. So I don't have to purposely cut this out and bring over to Photoshop. Bring over to Maya and match this again. Is too troublesome for me, very time consuming. So with that, we kind of have the flow. Okay, the flow of the outer ear, and then the Y that is inside. What we are not doing right now is the thickness, okay, the depth, the size of it, the thickness of it basically. What we can do here is basically find out the flow of it, the base model of it, the blocking part of it, and then the next stage is to do the thickness up. Okay, so with this understanding, I'm going over to Maya and start doing the so-called blocking of the ear. Any question at this point of time? Okay, so what you see here is a very quick blocking, very close, don't have to be 100%, but it's close enough, that's good enough really. Okay, and how I'm going to do it, okay, I'm going to show you guys how. I'm going to reopen the file. Okay, if you're wondering what happened to the head, I just hide it. So I can just go to side view and create a plane, rotate it and put it back to the ear portion there. And I'm just going to bring it down to subdivision 1:1. Okay, I'll scale this down. I'm going to make it transparent. Okay, just use the extreme mode, good enough for me. And I'm going to resize it, rotate it. So I'm going to start off with the red portion first. Okay, H mode, want to shift to extrude, rotate. So what we're doing is kind of like following what your reference, what you have drawn. Okay, just do a very quick extrusion and stuff. In terms of size, I can always fix it later. I don't have to like really match all the size at this point. Okay, there are quite a lot of things to learn about the ears, but we're going to do it step by step. Okay, so you kind of have to watch this whole video to really understand the ear modeling. Some of the things that I share will actually help you do better in drawing as well. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of match the thickness, or kind of like the size. Okay, just a little bit of mismatch is fine, because we can always go in to add more edge loop towards the end. Okay, remember, keep it low. The lower it is, the easier to work with at the beginning. Okay, adding edge loop is easy, but removing it is painful. Right, so next one is the inside of the ear. So I'm quite lazy to create another plane and move it back to this position again. So I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to duplicate this model. So now I have two question mark, and I'm going to select one of the faces and Shift Control I to delete. Okay, to inverse the selection and delete all the unnecessary faces. And now I can go back to my X-ray mode. Okay, turn on the wireframe mode as well, and I can move them to position. So I'm going to start off with this part here. Okay. extrude. Extrude. Okay, I'm going to just do a simple cut around here and take away this extrude for now. So I have a 5-sided which is okay for the moment because I'm just blocking it. Extrude, rotate. Okay, something like that. Alright, so now we have both the question mark and the Y. Next, we have to actually switch over to perspective view and try to do a bit more of modeling already. So there's a few things we can do. One is really go into perspective view, and then you kind of like push this in and out and stuff like that. Some people, they prefer to model them flat, that means back to the right view. Okay, so they will do things like connecting everything together, and then they will do all the thickness and depth later on. So it's really up to your preference. Here, let's say we're going to the perspective view, all right? And what we want to do is really to study the depth of it, which one is coming in, which one is coming out, all right? So let's say I go to perspective view again. Okay, so I'm going to use the outer one first. I know that this is kind of like the outside. Okay, so I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to rotate that slightly because there's a curve to it. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the inner ear, the question mark. So we're going to start off with the top section here. Then we slowly come to here. Then we slowly come to here. Right, so we're going to observe the depth. So I know that these two is underneath the question mark, the curve. Right, so I'm going to keep it there, this position. And then I'm going to pull out these few areas here because it looks like it's quite close to the curve, but not over, just quite close to it. So I'm going to check around and see, yeah, somewhere around there is good enough. And then we have this part which is like sunken in again, and maybe this part here and this part here is okay. So back to this again. Where was I? So okay, back to the 3D model. Alright, so this portion here is kind of close to the bottom part of your ear. Looks like the butt of the ear. So I'm going to bring it closer. And this section here, maybe slightly to the back. Just a little bit. Alright. So you can see that there is this part. Okay, there's inside. And this portion here is kind of like here, this part. Okay, so just a rough one, and next thing I can actually start to do is kind of combine them together and stitch them up together, and kind of do some of the bridging and stuff, right? So shift right click and combine. Okay, save the file, and let's start doing this part here first. So I'm going to bridge, no, before I bridge, actually what I want to do is kind of create a thickness for the inner rim. Okay, so I'm going to do it part by part, otherwise it's going to be a bit confusing. So I'm going to go on to shift and extrude and scale it down. Okay, maybe, yeah, scale it down first. Okay, if I press 3, it looks something like that. Okay, by right, this one should be going inwards because again, it's concave, but for now I'm going to pull it out first so that it's easy for me to bridge things together. Okay, so now I'm going to cut one section here. Okay, and because once I cut it, then I can kind of merge the vertices together. Okay, so just hold on to shift, merge vertices, target well, merge them together, and repeat the same thing for this section here. And because of what I've done here, right, I kind of have extra edge loops which can help with the curve, which again we'll do it later on. Repeat the two, target well, okay, good. And since we are in this section here, we might as well fix this portion. Just double click and fill hole, right? Fill hole will basically cover up the border. And let's see if I can, okay, go back to my side view. Let's fix the shape a little bit because of this extra edge loop, right? I'm just going to pull this up to get the curve. Back to my perspective view. Can I bridge this together? Actually, I can add one more edge loop here, and then I can bridge this together. This can be bridged together as well. And this one, close hole, fill hole, sorry. Okay, and I'm going to add edge loops around here. Okay, and this edge loop, the reason for doing it is really to get the curve up. Okay, so I need to add one more here. Okay, just going to try this out and pull this up. Okay, this is going to be sunken in, so I'm going to push this in a little bit more. Okay, smooth it to check how it looks like at the moment. Okay, so again, see these shadows here? These shadows are again concave, it's curved inwards. So somewhere towards the end, what I need to do is basically select the whole area of it and kind of like scale it up, push it in, and that will help me out to get that look ready. But for now, I kind of still need the edges to be a bit more visible. It's easier to select them and move them around. So you kind of constantly have to keep that in mind, that this edge loop is supposed to be inside and not on the outside. Okay, or actually there's another way which later we will do that. Okay, so we continue with our bridging. Bridge. Okay, then now instead of continuing all the way here, I will approach this area now. Okay, bridge and fill hole. Don't worry too much about 5-sided or 3-sided, whatever, we can always fix that later on. Here you can see that the face is kind of going in, going down. Mine is kind of a bit too far out, so I'm going to push this part down. Back to my side view, just double checking. Bridge. Okay, and I'm going to add so this whole area here is going to be sunken in. Let me just add one here, kind of combine them together first. place here, use the bridge method and then remove the edge loop. So that is target well. Okay, now let's try doing this. Extrude, scale it down. So this is somewhat like the ear hole. And we're going to push it in. Okay, let's move it up. Take a look at the model, the weird looking ear model. Okay, we'll reapply the blend material as well. So for now, this is what we have, a quick blocking. Okay, still a few areas that are imperfect, which is why we have to go in to kind of adjust the edge loop and stuff lah. Okay, so now that we have a base model already, I just want to exaggerate or kind of make certain things a little bit more obvious, okay, like the depth. Again, keeping the poly count low is good. Here we need more edge loop around here. Okay, and since I have added one, see if I can merge these two together and remove. So keeping it as low as possible. So we have this going this way. Okay, let's add one more edge loop here. Okay. Back to my right view. So I think I kind of got this area not so bad, not that accurate as well, but it's fine. Now I want to work on this section here. Okay, so from this picture is very sharp and pointy. In order to do that, I will need to add more edge loop. Okay, if I add more edge loop, then this part here will be affected. I need to maybe do a bit of cleanup, but let's try. Just bevel it. Oops. Bevel. Some of these vertices I can merge them. See if I can do a better cleanup. edges is to help me get the concave shape. And this ear hole I can actually push it in even deeper now. Okay, now for this area here, let's just do bridging. Oh, because I have extra edge too. Okay, I'm just going to bridge first. Okay lah, the ear is really, like I said, complicated. You have to really get the flow and understand how to use the tool very well. And not only that, once you finish this particular stage, the next thing that is complicating is merging the ear back into the head, which is again another thing that you encounter before when you're modeling the hands, the fingers and stuff. Okay, so here I can go with the easy way out, but then later I have to do some cleanup, which is basically just do a quick bridge and fill hole. Okay, now you see I'm working on this area. You notice there's a bit of shadow here, which means this area here is kind of like being pushed in. So I kind of need to do that. At the same time, there's a lot of topology issue here, so I have to fix the shape and at the same time fix the topology. So let's push this in. I need to figure out which the correct edge to push, by the way. This one is okay. This one go up. So you have to have that in mind, that every single vertex or edge is to support a shape. If that edge or vertices is not supporting that shape, then it's kind of like redundant, especially when you are modeling at the start. Towards the end, what we do is we will add edge loop in between the model, is to support the shape even further. So this one we'll push it in, just like this one, push it in. Push this in. Okay, so maybe this one I can merge. Let's try it. Oh yeah. And see if I can make a triangle from here. Don't seems to be working as what I thought it would be, so never mind. Change the plan. Okay, back to my right view and double checking. Okay, so this part is the sunken in part, which is good. This part can go down a bit lower. This part can go lower as well. This part is all okay. Okay, almost there. Let's do a bit of cleanup. So this section here, I can just connect them. Triangle is fine. Before I connect, maybe I want to see if I can add one more edge loop in between. Okay, or I can try to use back this one here, push it in. Maybe I'll just bevel it. Quite a few different options. Yeah, quite a few options. Let's try one thing at a time. Save the file. In case I do anything wrong, I can redo it. Connect component. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to push this down closer to the edge at the bottom and use the scale tool and scale it up. Oh, scale it up, not scale it down. Okay, this is to help with the concave area. Okay, and then here comes all the connect component. Back to the right view. Okay, so I have a 5-sided here as well. Let's see how I can fix that. I have a triangle here. Okay, easy way out. Connect first. Kind of need that. Okay, I have to reconnect them somewhere else. Okay, cool. Save the file. Double check and see if I have any 5-sided. I think 5-sided is a bit more scary for a 3D model, whether it's hard surface or organic model. So file cleanup. Okay, operation, select matching polygon, apply to all polygon selection. Faces with more than 4 sides. Okay, and click apply. So wow, how come so many? That's weird. Okay, so I found one here. Let's just fix that one first. Can use a simple multi-cut. Connect this to this area. Save the file again, delete history. One more time. Wow, what happened? Cannot be. These are all. Okay, there's one more here. Okay, now slightly better, but some of them don't seem to be accurate. Okay, good, just nice, kind of need that. Save the file again and apply. Okay, good. No more five-sided. Nothing is no error coming out. So just going to use the iPower and manually double check and see if there's any issues here. Okay, so don't have. Just going to check. Right now, this is how the years looks like. Definitely can be better if I spend a bit more time to refine it. So I think this is good enough for now. Okay, whatever we do, definitely need to have more time to adjust. Now what we need to do is kind of get the thickness out. Why am I selecting the wrong thing? Okay, double check. Okay, I want to select just the outer rim. If I selecting anything less, I can always redo it later on. And this is going to be the thickness of our ear. Okay, so I extruded it out. Most probably we need to scale it up as well. Back to my side view, might be easier to see here. Okay, I'm still selecting the edges. I'm trying to get the position correct. And some of them might be a bit off, so we have to manually pull it back. So unfortunately, I never take a photo of my back ear, so the back of my ear, so it's tougher. Got to kind of use my imagination or whatever I can recall to do this. So if you have the time, take a picture of the back of your head. then you don't have to do all this guessing work. Okay, almost done with the year. I need to extrude a bit more before I can bridge over to the head. Okay, but let's bring the head back, save the file. Unhide all. Display, show all. Control A. Hide the body, Oh, what happened to my ear? Where did you go? Control A again. Okay, control space bar to hide the model, hide the tabs and stuff. Right view. Okay, so this is where my position of the ear is at the moment. Let's just double check and see if it's accurate. Okay, so one thing to take note of your ear is that it's not straight like this. When you're doing drawing as well, take note your ear is not straight. It's kind of like tilted to one side. So you have to kind of rotate it maybe around 45 degree. Okay, and to the front view. Okay, we don't want our ears to be like Mickey Mouse as well. It will be too uncomfortable to look at. So we kind of have to rotate it in a certain angle as well. Okay, now here comes the fun part. I'm going to delete all the faces here, and we're going to start combining them and bridging them. Of course, I won't be doing it immediately. I need to prepare the model. Just like the hands, remember we have to count how many edges we have. If one of them have 8 edges, then the other side kind of have to have 8 edges as well. So here is kind of the same thing, but it's going to be almost impossible to have the same amount at all. So we have to do things like merging the vertices and stuff. Okay, temporarily add some support edge loop to help me with the model. Okay, just bevel this. Okay, so let's see how many edges we have. Control A, modeling toolkit. We have 9 edges here. We have 20 edges here. So we have to bring down 20 to around 10 or 9. So let's do it. Save my file. Combine. Select the face, pull up a little bit, easier for me to work with. This is painful. Okay, these two merge. Okay, and going to bridge this one together. Bridge. Bridge. No, I can't bridge. Wait, I'll try again. Bridge. Okay. Right. Bridge. There's a hole here. Let's see if I can remove it. Fill hole. Sometimes it's faster to fill a hole and you can actually see the polygons in between them, and you can actually fix it later on. So here it's going to be the same thing. Oops, I'll just fill the hole, which I don't want to. Prefer to bridge it first. Bridge. 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 This I can fill hole. Fill hole. Okay, fill hole. Okay, so some problems that we face right now is that the ear should be kind of flush with your face. You shouldn't have this harsh line appearing there. So we need to fix it with a bit of topology and stuff. So I'm going to remove some of the edges that are too close to them. That will help space things out a little bit. So just show you again. So you see now it's better. If I undo the selection, you see this line that is currently present, right? This edge is very harsh, so I have to remove this edge. It will actually help spread out the surface and give us a better finishing, but your topology is wrong, so we have to fix it one thing at a time. Ear modeling is painful. So this edge that I am adding here, I hope that it will help me towards the back, because the back of the model actually there's some things to adjust one, and hopefully it's helping. Okay, so far so good. I don't see my face, so scary. See somewhere else. See the ear. Okay. Connect component. Connect component. Decut. card again. One more time, multi-card. Almost there. Almost there. Nightmare is going to end soon. Okay, spacing out the polygon. So good thing is that I started off with a low poly count for the back of the head. If you can notice, the edges here are still quite low, which is good because now that I added in the ears, I can actually add edges in between them to get back the roundness of the head as well. It's a matter of whether I want to add or not, because there's still some things to model behind the ears. Okay, so for the back of the ear, actually it's kind of like your skull already. You can actually feel a hard bone just behind the ear there. So we kind of want to have that being modeled in. So this whole area here, I'm just going to push it in a bit. It's a bit more sunken in. Okay, so somewhere around here onwards, you have this part a bit more protruding out. Okay, let's see if I can bridge and connect component. So this triangle there is fine. Okay, let's try to do a bit of cleanup clean up, clean up, clean up. Save the file. Okay, so at the back, a lot of lines going on already. It's going to start to be a bit more confusing. Let's try to fix the shape. You notice that the shape looks very weird at the back of the skull, a bit too sharp and stuff. So we kind of need to spread them up. So a quick one is ready to use your sculpting tool, relax or smooth. No idea why the face turned black. Okay, so we're just going to brush it off. Relax the vertices. Of course, this is not going to be the most perfect solution. I think my head got disappeared because I merged the model, so I'm just going to bring it back. Okay. Check on the model and see if the head is better now, the roundness of it. Otherwise, we have to spend a bit of time to fix it. After relaxing, some of the lines kind of curve in, so I still prefer them to be straight. Okay, it's crucial to all these edges that I just push in, right? These vertices here, right? I'll show you what I mean. What I want to tell you guys. Back to my right view. Okay, so what happened was that earlier on you see that they are kind of like being pushed out, and I actually prefer them to be kind of closer to the second edge in terms of the side view. Is because if I exaggerate a bit more, this is what happens. So you become like you have the Ultraman fin at the back. So we don't want that kind of things, which is why I push it in closer. Okay, sometimes what I do is from the top view, I will just scale this particular edge together. Yeah. Especially at the front, once you finish modeling and you kind of combine both left and right model and you merge the vertices, right? Sometimes you have things like this. You have this sharp Ultraman fin. So it's good to push it in at the start before you even combine them. Otherwise, you got to do it again. Okay, almost done. Looks good. For an hour of work, really feel like bringing this model to ZBrush and do a bit of sculpting. That will be quite fun to work with. Okay, so I'm going to fix some topology as well, since we already did so much on the face. Okay, I don't want to have lines that is going zigzag, so I'm trying to smooth them out. Okay, and for the face, I'll prefer that the topology of the jaw is kind of going in this direction. So I kind of need to fix this area here. So I will actually open up one of the reference again. I think this is the one. And try to see if you can find the jaw. Not very clear, but shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so we got one. Let's see if we can link this over as well. Okay, now we got the other one, but there's a triangle here which I don't really enjoy looking at it. So let's see. Okay, not so bad. I find that this line might be a bit redundant. behind the back of your ear, then the muscle is kind of moving forward down to your collarbone. Palm again. Okay, and let's see if I can fix the face here, the chin area. Should I? Okay, I think I can do this. I'm going to extrude one more edge and kind of make the throat, and that will kind of fix the problem that I'm having at the bottom of the chin. I'm not going to be bothered by the neck area, so let's continue from here. Neck. Okay, almost there. I have one more five-sided here to fix. Let's go to the side. Okay, almost there already. Side view again. Okay. save the file. The neck looks a little bit too squarish, so let's see. Okay, later once I connect to the body, then I will fix the neck together. Okay, so far I think looks okay. The throat, is it too so protruding? Okay, take the sculpting tool to help me relax that area. I think it's a bit too much. Okay, maybe smoothing will help. Okay, slightly better. Just need to straighten up the lines. Straighten. Save the file again. Okay, so now we have a head that is almost done. What we need to do now is really just to clean up the model, and instead of creating another video tomorrow to do the cleanup, might as well do the cleanup now. So this video might be way longer than the usual one. Then tomorrow we can move on to other things like doing the shirt and stuff, you know. So maybe later I will do the combining of the neck to the body as well. Or you all prefer that I keep that as a separate video, you know, the combining the neck and doing a bit of the cleanup as a separate video, or you prefer me to do it now together with the ear video? No preference, no one is having any comments, so I guess I'll just continue first. Okay, so for the eyes, because I added quite a few edge loop there, trying to see if I can space things out. I personally prefer to kind of have the same amount of edge loop or edges at the top and bottom. So let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe include this 6. I'll kind of prefer that the bottom have 6 as well. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 1 extra, so maybe I want to add 1 more. Otherwise, don't add also can, but the thing is, if I add means I have 1 more edge loop going across the head, and I need to know whether is it important to, do I need to really have that. So save the file. I'm just going to try it out first. Let's say I select this edge loop and I bevel it. Okay, that will give me 7 edge at the top. Seems to be fine. A bit tight at certain areas, so just need to space them out. Save the file. Okay, so once I have like 7 edges at the top, especially after beveling it, you will find that the eyes is a little bit more distinctive. You have more edges to get a better shape. Okay, let's see what else can I do here. Save the file. Some of the lines are going zigzag. Okay, quite a few bumps around here. So again, maybe the smoothing tool would be good to have. I'm gonna try something risky and bridge this whole area. Sorry, merge this area here. Have a lesser amount of polygon. So with that, I will have a bit of bump, which is a bit more natural. Okay, what else? I think that's about it. The rest is really just cleaning up. Like you can see some areas a bit bumpy and stuff. It's really spending like maybe 1 hour, half an hour to an hour to smooth out the surface, push in the vertices, or using the relax tool or smoothing tool to help you with that. I don't advise you guys to bring this model to ZBrush to sculpt it. I tried it yesterday, and to be honest, when you bring it back in the lower subdivision, right, your model won't be as good as what you have at the moment. The only thing that will look good is when you bring over to ZBrush, you up the subdivision, you sculpt every details out, and you need to use Substance Painter to bring back those information. So for us, right now, we are not doing ZBrush, we're not doing any unwrapping or texturing. So we are just doing pure modeling. So this is, you just do everything in Maya will do. Okay, maybe during the holiday period, maybe I might bring this whole model over to ZBrush, and if I'm doing it, then maybe I will conduct a lesson again on a daily basis and share with you guys how to do it. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are interested to learn a bit of ZBrush over the holiday. If yes, then I will do it. Otherwise, then I will just relax, do my own thing really during the holiday. And with that, even if we do the ZBrush during the holiday, when school reopen, we will still cover Substance Painter for those who are faster. For those who are still struggling to do the model only, then yeah, we'll just continue with whatever you are doing for the model. So if you have any question, post it down in the comment section. Once I end this tutorial, you can ask the questions in WhatsApp or even in the MS team. Okay, so what we'll be doing tomorrow is we'll combine the head to the body and do an overall cleanup, and then after that, moving on to maybe do a bit of accessories and stuff. Next week, Monday, I will review whatever work that you all have done so far, and Tuesday, depending on how much you all have done, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday we'll do a second review, and then Tuesday we will continue with the accessory. Thursday, if you can, we will finish up most of the accessory, and you all can continue during the holiday already. Okay, quite a lot of accessory to do. Shirt, pants, shoes, these are 3 basic stuff. So next week, hopefully I can spend at least 3 lessons to cover them with you guys. So if not, there's no question, then that's it. We are kind of like done here. Okay,